What's up, y'all? Welcome back to The Process. It's been another long day today. Just got back from work, and while I was at work, I was thinking about how difficult it is to not only just before you even get to creating, I was thinking about how difficult it is to, if I'm being honest, just show up to create. For those of you that obviously no one knows, but I work two jobs. So I have a 9 to 5, and I work 20 hours a week, just doing retail beyond the 9 to 5. So normally that's like from 5:30 to 9, and then either both Saturday and Sunday or just Saturday. And in between there, I try to find time to create videos. And for the most part, what I've been finding lately is the hardest part about getting started has literally just been creating the systems on a day-to-day basis to fall into a rhythm and doing the things that are necessary to make videos and content and whatnot. And what's interesting is I'm actually reading a book right now. It's called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. Actually, let me hold on. I'm going to actually find it. 1 second. Okay, this is the book. It's called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. If those of you that don't know, Austin Kleon is awesome. One of the quotes that I actually just read in his book today that really spoke to me was about time management and how to find time to create. And one of the quote that he mentions in the book is that you find time the same way that you find loose change, which is in the nooks and crannies, basically. And that quote really spoke to me because I also think that that's so bang on. I try to find time to do this and do it well within the nooks and crannies of my day-to-day life. Typically, that's, if I'm lucky, a half hour to 45 minutes early in the morning. And then after work, I try to come home and do a little bit more after work before I go to bed. And that's partly why I'm creating these videos, as a way to hold myself accountable to create after work and just continue to put one foot in front of the other. So anyway, I say all that to say that sometimes I feel like within the context of like hustling and grinding all the time, that our expectation of ourselves can be really, really extravagant and high. And what I mean by that is, for me on a day-to-day basis, sometimes even when I set out a half hour, 45 minutes to try and get a lot done, sometimes I only get a little bit done. Sometimes I do get a bit done. Sometimes it's a mixed bag. Sometimes I get caught up in trying to tweak and edit, and that takes too long. And what I used to do was get really down on myself if I didn't get a whole lot of focus work done. And, they say, spend an hour each day on your passion, on your passion and whatnot. And sometimes for me, honestly, it's not an hour, it's like 25 minutes, or sometimes it's like 40 minutes. But what I've come to realize is that as long as you are putting one foot in front of the other in some regard, and coming back to the craft on a daily basis, even if it's minuscule, it still matters that you do that, because within the context of getting started and doing something consistently, even if you don't do a lot, training your body and your mind to return to these practices on a day-to-day basis is actually where all the actual hard work is done. Because part of what makes creating so difficult is the resistance you feel to actually start and do whatever it is that you want to do. So if you can actually commit to action to some degree, whether it's big or small, on a routine basis, ideally every day, finding time in the nooks and crannies of what you've got going on. And believe me, this is coming from someone that works 2 jobs and can still find a little bit of time here and there to show up kind of like this. Not do anything spectacular. These outputs are not amazing. But my point is, and I know I'm rambling, that I think an important part of the process is that it's so important to detach from big expectations and do what you can as much as you can, and start with micro commitments. So for me, time to create in the morning and in the evening, I'm trying my hardest, my literal hardest, to make sure that I show up in some capacity during those times. And the outcome of that has been, some progress, not anything extravagant again, but some progress. And I can feel my body and my mind gravitate towards these actions and these habits on a day-to-day basis, which is making breaking down that wall of resistance a lot easier. And the easier that resistance is to break down, the easier it is to take action, the easier it is to get stuff done and get more posts and videos created. And that just creates momentum. And as momentum builds and compounds, eventually, hopefully, it'll lead to great things. But it's really hard to get momentum going if you are trying to do more than you can actually do. So I want to dedicate this video to the people who either want to start and haven't started because they're so concerned about how or when they're going to start, and the people that maybe feel like the task of creating is so much bigger than what they can show up to do. It's all possible. We're all kind of, as weird as it is to say, we're all kind of in this together trying to figure it out. But I just want to reassure you that if you commit to the micro, eventually the macro will come. Commit to the micro and the macro will come. Anyways, that's it. Not going to ramble on too long. I just wanted to speak some truth to what it feels like to work long days and still show up. So with that being said, comment if you are also in that same boat, doing the most, trying to keep up with life, keep yourself going, and show up. If that's you, I'm with you. And until next time, we'll see you.